Welcome your host, Eddie McGuire, together with Sam Newman and Trevor Marmalade.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Footy Show. And what a big year it has been in football. The 1998 Grand Final between North Melbourne and the Adelaide Crows. Ladies and gentlemen, to open up the 1998 Grand Final edition of the Footy Show, please give a big welcome to one of North Melbourne's favourite sons, the man they call the Voice, Whispering Jack, John Farnham! Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for one of the greatest talents of all time from this country, Mr. John Farnham and his band.
Thank you. Thanks, Eddie. Thanks, mate. Hey, Eddie, I've got a question. This is a burning question in my band here. Do you play a musical instrument?
Well, I could always try.
Because I've got to tell you, my band's the only thing you're not in.
John, before you go, mate, North Melbourne, you've been #1 ticket holder down there in the past. You're a great North Melbourne man. Can you win?
Are you kidding? See, it's difficult for me because my career started in South Australia. I love them, but I live in Melbourne, you know. I mean, we'll kill them. We'll kill them. But I'm prepared to put my money where my mouth is, and nobody will take me on.
John Farnham, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget John, Olivia Newton-John and Anthony Warlow will be appearing from October 28 right here at Melbourne Park and right around Australia as part of the main event tour. John, we look forward to it again. John Farnham, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, what a big week it has been in football. Stan Alves sacked as the St Kilda coach. Robert Harvey, back-to-back Brownlow medals. Kevin Sheedy under the pump. Nathan Buckley, the new captain of the Magpies. And, of course, the 1998 AFL Grand Final between North Melbourne and the Adelaide Crows. Please welcome our panel tonight to start proceedings. The man who was unfortunate last weekend for the Melbourne football side, but what a magnificent year he has had. Some say he could actually be the coach of St Kilda next year. Please welcome the doyen of football these days, the one and only Gary Lyon.
Thank you, Edward. Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
Edward.
Gary, tell us, are you going to be the new coach of St Kilda?
Come on, Gary, when do we start pre-season? Eddie, the closest I've been to coaching St Kilda to do anything would be to coach Spider to do his tie-up before the show tonight. There's absolutely no chance I'll be coaching St Kilda next year.
Speaking of the Spider, was he one of the St Kilda men who axed Stan Elves? Let's ask the question and welcome Spider Everett.
Straight off the top, sledging straight away.
Right into it, mate. This is grand final week.
Well, I can tell you I had nothing to say. Well, I didn't say a word about it. I was quite happy out there for lunch when I heard the news, and I was very shocked at the time, but unfortunately it's gone. But I can tell you I didn't say yay or nay.
All right, well, I'll see that. Can't confirm or deny. I'll take that one, Ez. But anyway, from the Carlton Football Club, please welcome Glenn Manton. And, well, Glenn, the Blues haven't escaped either because Fraser Brown walked out during the week.
He did, he certainly did walk out, but I'm just struggling after that intro. I'm waiting for Eye of the Tiger and I'm just about to go nutty here, so...
Wait till you hear Marie Wilson a little bit later on. That's coming up, ladies and gentlemen. But now, it gives me great pleasure to welcome the man who played over 300 games for Geelong. He captained the club. He was the best and fairest. He played for Victoria. He's done things that you and I can never even dream of, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome the one, the only John Sammy.
Very much, Ed. Well, I must say, shut up. I must say it's been a much better year than this time last year. Had a few personal problems last year, but how well am I going this year, Ed? I've been made the ambassador to South Australia.
Yep.
We've got into another grand final. We have got into another grand final. The dog, you idiot's going well.
Yep.
I've even track and square with Nat.
Nat?
Oh, well, I've met the Senator. I met her over in Perth. And we're going on a ticket together, her and I and the Democrats. Yep. Well, I think that's what she said. She's clipped me twice anyhow. I think that's what she thinks she's going to do. And 3 votes I got at the Brownlow. But the highlight, of course, Ed, is, Robert. Just fantastic.
Rob Harvey.
Rob Harvey. I forgot his name. Robert Harvey. Back-to-back Brownlows. How good is that, Ed? And what an absolute star. Just fantastic to have Robert with us tonight, and he is just a legend.
He is with us tonight. Rob Harvey will be joining us. We've got the Players' Review, Marie Wilson. We've got everything happening on the Footy Show. But right now we have behind the bar, Trevor Marmalade.
Mate, Ed, a big hello. Good to see you back from Malaysia. How was it over there?
Kuala Lumpur, magnificent. And wait till you see one of our guests a little bit later on as well.
Yes, well, I know that the Collingwood Football Club were very worried. They thought their new president might come back a recalcitrant. but when you're away, you missed the debate with the politicians.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, it turns out that both guys are pro-good and anti-bad. As it turns out, yes.
Really?
But Kim Beazley had a great new plan to create 1 million jobs. He's actually getting Eddie to take the year off.
Let's get into it right off the top, ladies and gentlemen, and Stan Elves getting the axe. First of all, once upon a time, if a St Kilda coach had got his team into a final series, they would have made him a hero. They would have knocked off Tommy Bent's statue down there in Brighton Road and put up Stan Elves. Instead, they've knocked him off. What do you think, Gary?
Well, it doesn't pay to be the All-Australian coach, it would appear, Eddie. Last year's All-Australian coach, he gets the team into the finals this year. I think he did it the wrong way around. I mean, had he been slow starting in the season and finishing strongly, then maybe he would have survived. But it would appear that you set a pretty high standard, Spider, and the next coach that comes in, whoever he may be, has pretty big shoes to fill, I would have thought.
Spider,
Yeah, no, it was...
I'll ask you, though, just before you go on.
Yeah.
It's been said that that Stan was too hard on the players, that he had to go. Maxie Hudson, we've seen him have a go at different blokes over the years, that he had to go at the co-captains last weekend. What's the situation?
I don't think on a personal point of view he was too tough on the players. a lot of the other players probably think different, but on a personal point of view, it wasn't too tough on me, and you know, I didn't see him going too tough on other players. But how it is a lot of players can handle it, and a lot of players can't, and you've got to know how those players handle it. And
well, Spider,
yes, Sam,
you should know how they're handling it.
While I'm talking, no worries.
Well, say something, Spider, say something. I mean, you stand out there. Did you feel embarrassed when he singled out Max Hudson? Did you think, oh, he's going in a bit solid?
I just laugh at him.
You laugh at him?
Yeah, well, when he goes off like that. But,
now, you said you didn't say yay or nay to him going. If you'd been asked, would you have said yes, stay, or no go?
No, it's probably a
now,
tough one. I would have had to sit down and consider it. I can't tell you straight off the top. For a personal point of view, I'd like to see Stan stay. I've got nothing against him. I thought he was a good coach. He got us to the grand final. He got us into the finals. But unfortunately for a lot of the players, and probably I think Stan knows this, and the younger blokes, they could not communicate with Stan, and you know, he could not find the communication. There was always a breakdown between the coach and the players, and I think for a club to be successful, you've got to have good player-coach communication.
Sammy, question: should players be consulted about whether or not a coach should stay or go?
Well, it's a good question, Gary, because
you.
we understand that Essendon have sent out letters to their players. Matty Lloyd will be with us. We'll put the acid on him to talk about Kevin Sheedy's position next week before their board meets, because it's a line ball decision there. So with that in mind, you've got St Kilda, the players apparently fixing up the coach, and you've had a Collingwood, the players saying keep Tony Shaw, and now you've got a situation where Essendon might be doing
theoretically, Ed, you can't have the players running the club, but in practice, if the players don't play for the coach and they play in spite of him, well, then you're going nowhere. So at the end of the day, the reality is that the players would have to be consulted, because if they're not going to get on with the coach, you're behind the 8 ball before you even start. So that's a fact of life.
Indeed.
Glenn, just a quick one from you. What do you think about all this?
What do I think about it all? Well, I think key word is communication. I mean, if you can't communicate with your coach, the lines of you know, communication regarding the game and off-field performances are going to go down. I mean, I couldn't communicate with Kevin. That's well documented. He thought I was from Mars. I thought he was from Uranus. And I think I've said enough.
Fair enough, boys. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we have the best of Street Talk, Sam's Grand Final mailbag, and some very special guests right after the break here at the Grand Final edition of the Footy Show.
I'm standing outside Jeff's pond, which is immediately down from his shed and right opposite his racetrack. And we're here at the National Swimming Titles, which are the qualifying meets... which is the qualifying meet for the Commonwealth Games. How hard is that to say? Sailor! This is the venue for the Commonwealth Games Trials, which is a I can't do this. If I can't remember that, I'll go and join Dougie Hawkins.
What's your favourite position?
Tell us, what is it like to rub shoulders with huge wits and intellects like Mike Sheehan and Lee Matthews and Bruce and who else is there? Sandy.
Jason Dunstall.
Hey?
Jason Dunstall.
Jesus. And we were worried we got rid of him. Hello. Hello. You're Richard, eh?
I'm Richard tonight.
Yeah. Oh, there goes my next question, Richard. I was wondering if you wanted to come to Brownlow with me. So you're a bloke, eh?
Yes, 38, 24, 38, 10 and a half.
Who is this, Sammy? like you want to go and
the St Kilda guys to a function.
St Kilda guys? We're talking about Western Bulldogs, baby!
Do you go to the football a lot?
Yes.
Do you shout out in the outer and everything like that?
No.
Who do you go with?
My mum?
Your dear old mum. Does she shout out a lot?
Only when she's spastic.
Don't think we can say that, Jake.
Welcome back to the Footy Show, live from Melbourne Park in front of 12,000 people tonight. And that was the best of Street Talk. Now it's time for grand final edition of Sam's Mailbag.
Oh, yeah. Thought we were going to meet those people, eh? Now, Ed, shut up, sir, please. Now, have a listen to this. Now, this is... now, have a listen to this for a bit of front. This is from Paul Smith. My name is Paul Smith. Let me first of all start by saying that I think your show's absolutely brilliant. I love you, Ed. I made that up. The reason for my letter is to ask whether or not there is any possible chance of meeting the great Muhammad Ali, who I'm led to believe is appearing at this year's grand final. And possibly, could you get his autograph for me? Well, I mean, fair dinkum. Would you believe that?
Well, why not?
Well, where is he from? He's from South Australia, Croydon Park. We could pop over to the Vatican at Christmas, see if we can snare the Pope on his balcony. Maybe we could add that to the collection. That is absolute stupidity. And... now, Ed, have a listen to this. This is from our friends down south at Tasmania. Hi, Sam. This is on from the Nintendo thing.
How we charge you by the head tonight?
I am a 13-year-old boy from Ooze. Is that what that says, Ooze?
Something like that.
Ooze in Tasmania. I support the Brisbane team. I want Brisbane to win. 2 years ago, I liked them and I still like them. I think their new coach should do the job. My mum has a poster of you on her bedroom wall, and she says she likes you and finds you funny and spunky. If you are ever in Ooze, you should look us up. Dad goes away at weekends. Could you come round? Thanks, Wally. Wally wants me to give his mum a sing to it. You have to send a photo first.
As always.
Don't do it to dogs. We've told you that before. We do not do it to dogs. Now, Ed, just finally. Oh no, just finally. I would like, we get tens and thousands of letters each year, and we have photos and sent in, and gadgets and appliances and mechanical devices and gels and salves and liniments and blow-up women and dolls, all of which are absolutely pitiful, but sometimes on a slow night we'll use them and it'll get us through. We would like to thank everyone that sends us in, and if we haven't slagged you this year, we'll get round to you next year.
Exactly. Sam's Mailbag, everybody. Before we introduce our special guest tonight, Trev, you got something to add?
Yes, I've got a letter here from Kathy Dew of Norwood in South Australia. Please find attached an entry for your segment Cameos. This photo was taken at the last Australian Formula Grand Prix in Adelaide. Do we remember? How long ago was that? That was a while ago.
3 or 4 years.
Anyway, I thought it would be the last cameo to you. Do you recognise the man in the picture? Here we go. And there we go, coming out of the female change room. Sam Newman, send me... what's the story there? What were you wearing when you went into the joint?
That is absolute rubbish. That's
a female change room. Did you? I heard that you told the girl on the door that your name was on the door in the bathroom under ringer root.
Yeah, right. Let's move on now and introduce 3 of the biggest names in sport in this country. Let's open the batting by introducing, well, we know her as Madam Butterfly. At the weekend, she completed a record-breaking performance in winning 10 gold medals in 3 Commonwealth Games to beat Mike Wendon's performance. In 8 events, she won 8 medals. She is the Olympic champion, the world champion, and a 10-time Commonwealth champion. Please welcome the one and only Susan O'Neill. A man who racked up another medal on Monday night. He's won the last 2 Brownlows. He's won 3 club best and fairest. He's a 6-time All-Australian and a 3-time E.J. Whitten medalist from the St Kilda Football Club. The Brownlow medalist, Robert Harvey. And some might argue the latest and greatest sporting icon to come to this sports-mad country. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest names in sport these days, you idiot! And by the way, you idiot was the dog on that occasion there, ladies and gentlemen. The dog's still barking out there. I don't know what Roland's doing, but anyway. Susan, welcome back to Australia.
Great to be back.
It's been gilded. That's Roland.
Roland has, okay. Susie, congratulations. Look at these magnificent gold, silver medals from the Games. It must have just been a dream come true to finally get up and win and knock off Mike Wyndon's magnificent record of 9 gold medals at Commonwealth Games.
Yeah, it was, Commonwealth Games was definitely a sorry I didn't hear that, but Commonwealth Games is definitely a dream come true for me. And, you know, some of the reactions I've got, such as that one since I've been back, have been very surprising, to say the least.
This is the public up here, Susie. This is the public. They'll be voting in 10 days.
Okay.
True.
Yeah, so I've got to say, for me, it's fantastic to have Susan O'Neill on the show. I've always been such a big fan. Quietly, I've had the hot spur for a long time. I think, I think we'd actually be a good pair, you know, because she's half woman, half fish, and I'm half man, half chips.
Susie, you've come back from the Commonwealth Games, you've killed them again after the World Championships and the Olympics, and now you're getting married in a month's time. You're looking forward to that sort of life.
I am actually looking forward to it.
Another medal then.
It'll probably be a very nerve-wracking the actual day, but, you know, I can't wait to be married and start my new life.
And have we ever thought of melting them down and making them into an ingot or something like that?
Actually, might get a nice wedding band out of one of these. I don't know.
Now, how valuable actually are they? Do we not worry about that? I mean, the intrinsic value is the fact that you've won them, but a bit of gold.
I don't want to buy them, but I don't think they're actual gold. Probably a bit of spray paint.
No, that'd be gold. No, that'd be gold. Now, could I ask you this?
Yeah.
What do you think about the fact that people said these were, the credibility of the games? We didn't beat anyone and they were more like school sports. What do you think about, how does that affect the athletes that are up there?
I'll tell you how it's going to affect you. You get the sack, we televise it. What do you say on it?
The fact is it was sensational, Ed. And,
yeah, I think that's right, basically. I mean, if you look at the times that some of the swimmers did, you know, Ian Thorpe nearly breaking world records, and a lot of the times were ranked, you know, #1 in the world. Obviously not all of them. And it's not the Olympics, we all know that, but the competition was pretty tough in the pool.
Trev.
I liked it when Matt Shevington had his run, 10:03, fantastic effort, but boy, did they talk it up. He was the fastest white man at sea level, at night, in September, in the Southern Hemisphere. Absolutely sensational effort. Unbelievable. And mate, I've got to say, look, I really enjoyed the Commonwealth Games, but there were some weird sports. Now, maybe you could clear this up. Who won the final of the Kiss Chasey? Just out on that one.
I don't know, but apparently Matt Shevin is going to be sponsored by Spotless in the future.
And I suppose one of the
biggest lunchbox since Spotless came out, I can tell you.
One of the very big talking points that would have overshadowed everything up there was the fact that Eddie had flown up to actually compare the telecast, so I suppose that swept around Koala Lumpur, did it? Just the fact that the great man had jetted in.
Well, that was a talk around the dining hall in the village, let me tell you.
Yeah, thanks, Susie. Don't you send me up. Now, what about 2000?
Looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm having about a month off now and then get back in the pool. I think it'll come around so fast, and, you know, there were so many Australians in the crowd at Kuala Lumpur. You know, I can't wait till Sydney, put it that way.
It was fantastic. But what about the bloke at the end as well? For the second year in a row, taking off the Charles Brownlow trophy, the one and only Robert Harvey. Good on you, Rob. Good to see you, pal.
Well, Robert, what actually haven't you been asked this week? Is there any question that hasn't been asked?
Well...
Are you regular?
Yeah, I think that's one they've missed, but yeah, I've certainly covered most things, I think.
Yeah, and I know it's exciting and we don't want to get on to Stan Alves and the saga that's gone on. What do you think about that saga that's gone on?
You're a lawyer at the club, Robert.
Hardly done by, or Spider said he would have voted to keep him. What would you have done?
Look, it's very hard, tough situation.
Robert just wants to push on from here, don't you, Robert?
Well, thanks, Spider. And I was hoping you'd probably take the same line, but yeah, it was a very difficult situation. I mean, I've certainly been through it a few times at St Kilda, and as Spider said, we're pushing on next year.
And you've got how many more years left to play? I think you signed for another 5, did you?
I've got 3 more years of a contract, so hopefully I can play till I'm at least 30.
So you could well go on to break the record. Would that be, and now Jason's tried to break the record and Tony Lockett's tried to break the goal kicking record. What about the Brownlow record? Would you, that'd be a feather in your cap, eh?
It's certainly, look, I'm very happy with Monday night, but certainly wouldn't expect it to happen too many more times.
Trev.
Well, I was going to say, Robert, it's a great achievement, but are your teammates calling you Umpy's pet?
Glenn, one final one before we move on.
Firstly, Susie, I'll have to apologise for my father's outbreaks. I told him not to come here tonight. Thanks for laughing, Dad, too. Terrific. What about the football? What are your thoughts on the football, the grand final? I mean, everything's swimming. I want to know a little bit about your thoughts on the football.
Yeah, I just wish the Lions were up there, to be perfectly honest.
Okay. Very good.
They had a pretty bad season. We've been training there once a week, doing their boxing training with their coach, so it's a bit disappointing that they haven't.
Says the committee.
The actual grand final itself, though?
The grand final. Who's playing again?
Adelaide Crows.
I'm going away a bit. No, I know Adelaide's playing in North Melbourne, and I'm going for Adelaide because they're out of town.
See, Susie, and you're going so well there for a moment. You're going so well there for a moment. Susie, stick with us for a moment, and Rob, we want you to stay on for a couple of segments with us because we're going to have a look at the teams in a moment. But before we do, Rob and Spider and the boys are a bit of a chance to get something, a consolation prize. So too the Melbourne boys and Gary Lyon, because now it's time to check out the finals of Scam Cam. Our first Scam Cam of the year involved Carlton's Brad Pearce, a model accusing Brad of being the father of her baby. Of course, it was a prank, and didn't he take it well when all was revealed?
On the pretense of taking part in a photographic shoot, putting in to make these
Next, we Scam Cam the Demon Twins, Stephen and Matthew Phoebe, an elaborate photo shoot which left them in their underwear on the beach and their clothes with Gary Lyon in a crowded pub. Then it was young hawk Nathan Turvey, who also sells vacuum cleaners when he's not playing footy. His client on this occasion, a suburban brothel. Our boys supplied the goat, Nathan supplied the bemused looks, and his teammates got all the laughs. The entire Essendon selection committee was behind the scam of Bomber skipper James Hird. Their decision that Golden Boy was coming back via the reserves. Bomber Thompson stormed out, but Hirdy took it well.
Look, it's been going on for quite a while, mate.
It has, yeah, and I've been thinking about it. And
what are you on the IVF?
Or are you coming? I'm out of here.
And when all else failed, we turned on our own, scamming our Sunday show boys. They thought Maxie had walked out on them. What they didn't know was that for the only time during the year, the show was actually being recorded.
Right around, you've just been had by the footy show. Sham Cam, boys.
It's a sham cam.
Sham Cam.
Oh, stop it. I thought I had you jump for a minute.
But our winning Scam Cam goes to the boys from St Kilda, called to a meeting by Stan Alves with guru American motivator Chuck Longarm.
Wax on. Wax up. What's that head do when it's a chook? That head's picking. All right. Now I want louder.
I'm an invincible warrior.
Yes, you are louder.
I'm an invincible warrior.
Excellent. Now I've got one more chant I want you to do for me. Will you do this for me? Hey, Yeah. Yep. All right, here we go. Say this after me. I've been had by. You have been had by the Channel 9 Footy Show Scam Cam.
Boys, back out there, Stephen Zilla and Spider, what was the reaction of the club this week?
Yeah, no, they were pretty pumped. Cuz was shattered. He said he would never trust a white man again.
Unfortunately for Stan Elves, this week's meeting in Andrew Plimpton's place wasn't part of Scam Cam, Stan. Sorry about that. But the $10,000 does go to St Kilda, and Spider, I think, given the fact you're not going to pay Stan his money, you should give some of it to him and at least take him out for dinner.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. I go around to breakfast a couple of times a week, but no, we'll have to thank Stan and Sarah for setting all that up. It was great, and it was just a bit of a pity a few of the other boys actually wanted to join in, like Halves and Rod Keogh, but Stan told them what it was about before they did. So.
And Eddie, if Stan's sitting at home wondering why the boys lost faith in him...
When we return, it's the grand final sides, but before we go, Rob, stick with us to talk some more footy. Please thank and give a round of applause to Madam Butterfly herself, Susan O'Neill, and wish her luck for Sydney in 2000. Grand final sides when we return on the Footy Show. To the Footy Show, and that one day in September is almost upon us now, and when it does, 44 men will go out and try and make 22 of them very, very happy men and achieve their personal ambitions in the game of football. Let's have a look at the sides for the 1998 Grand Final, and first of all, let's have a look at the top of the ladder, North Melbourne's side. North Melbourne finished on top with 16 wins, 6 losses. They've won the 2 finals, having a week's break a fortnight ago. They defeated Melbourne by 30 points at the MCG last week, and tonight have named an unchanged side for the grand final from last week's preliminary final. Our hearts go out to John Longmire, who for the second time in 3 years will miss out on a grand final. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for John Longmire, unfortunately not playing in this game. So too do our hearts go out for Chad Rentoul from the Adelaide Crows. Let's have a look at the ins and outs, and only one change to their side. In comes young Ben Marsh, and out goes Chad Rentoul from the side that defeated the Bulldogs by 68 points at the MCG last week. They finished in 5th position, 13 wins, 9 losses. They had 2 finals wins, 1 loss to Melbourne in the finals by 48 points. And of course, the last team to win back-to-back premierships in the AFL, Hawthorn in 1988 and 89. Can the Crows do it? Gary Lyon.
I guess, Eddie, my opinion of the game is coloured by our recent games against them. We played Adelaide 3 weeks ago and thumped them by 58 points.
Too late to live on that now, Gary.
We're dying out on that, Spider. But look, North Melbourne were fantastic last Friday night, and I find it hard to get a weakness in their side. The temptation is to focus on Carey, and then Abraham bobs up, and Allison and Grant and those sorts of blokes. I just think they're very well balanced right across the ground, and I think they might be just a fraction too good.
Well, North Melbourne have won their last 11 games on the trot. Their last 6 have been played at night, but that shouldn't worry them at all, Spike.
Yeah, no doubt. I think I'm going to go against Gary. I'm going to go for the Crows. But even though North Melbourne has been hard at the ball and everything, I just think, you know, the Crows lift to occasions like these, and they will lift, and there'll be somebody that comes out of the woodwork, you know, somebody like an Allen or a Connell who'll kick 4 or 5 for the day like McLeod last year. So I reckon the Crows.
Well, it's going to be a highly emotional game for North Melbourne, of course. I mentioned John Longmire. Also, Craig Scholl plays his 200th game in the grand final, so well done to Sholly. And also tonight at training, a very emotional night for the North Melbourne Football Club because one of their favourite sons, Darren Crocker, announced his retirement. Have a look. A first in football, I think, a player being cheered off the ground at training tonight at Arden Street. Darren Crocker. Not only a sensational footballer, but a wonderful bloke as well. And Darren, we wish you well in retirement as we look at this big game. Glenn, what do you think? It's a huge one. As I said, 11 on the trot, North Melbourne have won. They have beaten Adelaide on their last 5 occasions.
I think you hit the nail on the head there with Crocs. He is a class individual, and I think both these teams are a very classy team. As Gary alluded to earlier, Adelaide came off a couple of tough losses towards the end of the season, but they're still, you know, come up for a chance at back-to-back, and North Melbourne have been fantastic all year long. But the thing that interests me, and I made a note here, that Adelaide actually train tomorrow, and they've got the parade and the training and so forth. I'm just wondering if they're doing too much on the Friday before the game. Sam?
Didn't affect them last year.
Maybe it didn't last year, but I'm wondering if it will, you know, lag sometimes catches up on your Spidey. You think you're ahead of him, it's catching up on
days later, but
well, you never know, Spider. These things happen, but I'd have to say that my heart would have to be with
Trev, we know where your heart is.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest worry here is that the division of the crowd. I think there'll be 50,000 Adelaide supporters barracking for the Crows, and there'll be 50,000 Victorian supporters barracking for everyone but Wayne Carey.
Well, Spide, I'm a bit with you, Robert. I think this is going to be just a great game. The main man on the ground, the main man is that man there, Mick Martin. What an absolute star. Gets a handful of kicks a year, but is just absolutely sensational. But maybe Mark Rasciuto might be able to usurp his ability. And my heart goes with the Kangaroo. Are we against time, Ed?
No.
My heart goes with the Kangaroos, Ed, but the old brain says you can't be the ambassador for the Crows and not pick them, so we're going for the Crows.
Well, we've got Rob Harvey, Peter Vardy in the side, who missed last year, Rasciuto. When we think of John Longmire, we also must send our commiserations to Tony Modra, who came back from a knee operation and has missed out on playing for the Adelaide Crows. But, Rob, what do you think?
Certainly your heart's got to go out to Chadron Toole, who gets dropped on the eve of the grand final. He's played the majority of the year for the club. But it seems to me North have trained themselves just to get over the line no matter what the situation. It seems no matter if their good players are struggling or their good players are playing well, they seem to be able to cover the losses. And I just think in a very tight game they might be able to just know how to win again.
I think we forget sometimes, Eddie, how hard it is to win back-to-back premierships, and as you said, the last ones to do it were the Hawthorns of 88 and 89, and they were recognised as one of the best teams of the modern era.
Well, we wouldn't know.
And Dermot will be up to tell us later, you're dead right, and so I just think that would be working against Adelaide as well. As much respect as I have for the Adelaide Crows, I think they're going to struggle to emulate the Hawthorns side of the late 80s.
Rob, we'll let you go, mate. Thanks for being with us. You've had a huge week this week. You've been able to have a drink this week as well, rather than last year. Mate, congratulations again. And you reckon North Melbourne?
I do, yeah, in a very close game. Under 2 goals.
Rob Harvey, everybody, the dual Brownlow medalist from St Kilda. Just before we move on with the show, a very big announcement on the 9 Network. 8:30 on Saturday night, a special Footy Show awards show from 8:30. Sam Newman, myself and Gary Lyon, live from the grand final celebrations as well. We'll be giving away the Footy Show awards for 1998 and also giving you a chance, thanks to our great friends at Qantas, to win a trip for 2, 7 nights in Honolulu. Make sure you read the Herald Sun, the West Australian and the Mercury in Hobart tomorrow for further details on how you can win that magnificent prize. So watch Hey Hey It's Saturday, of course, on Saturday night, and right after that it's the Footy Show Awards live from all the celebrations of the 1998 grand final. You'll see it, of course, right here on Football's Away ground. Don't worry about that. Before we go to the break, let's have a look at some of the magic moments of our very own Roo boy, Trev Marmalade.
Is Noel Gordon around? I'm here for the coaching job. Have you got any forms I can fill in? I've had past experience. I coached Southport last year, the premiership. Also, another great reference, Christopher Skase, Paul Hogan, Chopper Reed, he was great, and Jeff Elliston. On the chance? Okay, I'll be there in 2 minutes. Thanks very much.
They say that a coach has no friends, and Warwick's been selling Amway for the last 3 years, so he should be just about ready. You two have obviously been through a wonderful experience together. Did you get it on video?
No, I didn't get it on video, no.
No, well, how about the birth? Nice to see you again, mate. Haven't seen you since you turned up for the Channel 9 Christmas party wearing a mistletoe belt buckle.
Special prize for you, mate.
Well, we know why Roland was at the beach, don't we?
Right.
Roland was at the beach. He went for a pack of lifesavers, but he came back with a fisherman's friend.
Can you give us an all clear and the 2 fingers, as we'll see on Friday night? Come on.
Well, I can't give you the all clear, but I'll give you the 2 fingers.
Oh, well, Simon, give it.
For those of us that thought there wasn't a life form lower than an umpire, if you have a strike, you have maybe the question of a scab umpire. Well, come on, Sammy. You can't tell me you look at that Geelong strip there and you wouldn't do it for the jumper.
Your boys were very, very lucky, North Melbourne.
Well, you didn't see those decisions there, Sammy?
I haven't been game to look at them.
Well,
no,
I can say in all honesty that Adelaide were crucified, and not a moment too soon. Can we also add, I mean, what right have they got to bleed? You know, from the final series last year, the Adelaide-Geelong game, you actually have to buy that under the counter in Adelaide. Because it features 21 blokes being screwed by 3 umpires. Are Collingwood supporters dumb? What's next week's question? Are imbeciles stupid? Can you give me an easier question, Sammy? Like, what time does the 7:30 report start? Or, what are lamb chops made of? Which way do the needle exchange?
I think they give good head at McDonald's. On the cappuccinos. That's it.
I picked Brian. His dad takes us to McDonald's after the match. Interesting quote from Wayne Jackson earlier in the week. He said that the Docklands as a stadium would have, I've got it here, as much seating capacity as any stadium outside the MCG or Waverley. So in short, it's a stadium that anyone outside of Victoria can be proud of. But I think the answer to the roof thing, if the ball hits the roof, the players have to mark it with one hand. Sammy, you might be interested, also comes out in eye drop form, so you can take a long, hard look at yourself.
Welcome back to the Footy Show, live from Melbourne Park tonight, and we've got a special treat for you coming up right now. It's a song called Living the Dream. It has been written by Hawthorn star Tony Woods, who is the musical director here on the Footy Show. It is going to be performed by Marie Wilson, who is one of our hottest stars at the moment in the Australian music industry. Well, we all know what living the dream is all about. On Saturday, 44 young men will be trying to live their dream. And right from the moment you start things off, I tell you what, that's what it's all about. When you start your footy career or just any sporting career, living the dream is what it's about. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, written by Tony Woods of The Footy Show, put your hands together and welcome Marie Wilson.
Young boy, he's down to sleep, dreams of what he wants to be. A father says to his son, be whatever you want to be. Weekend comes, the war begins, people's hopes, a young boy's dreams. Heroes fly gone by in a young boy's life, always trying to touch the sky, never quit, never give in, knowing his dreams he has to try. Rivers crossed and mountains climb, knowing all the reasons why. A young boy roaming wild and free, a young boy who believes in his dream. Flying high, your hero soars, blood pumps hard, the mighty roar. You gotta fight, you gotta feel the pain. So much to lose, so much to gain. Feel the passion, pay the price. Don't step back and never think twice. You got a dream, you've gotta follow it through. Take the challenge, it's up to you. Soon the boy becomes a man, knowing he's done all he can. Did his time, paid his dues, won the battle, fought all through. The crowd sing, the crowd roar. Heroes prepare to go to war. Fear abounds in the young man's eyes. A moment lived for all his life. Sometimes his dreams they don't have to be as hard as they say it should be. But if you only try, if you only begin, you might start to believe. Dreams of fall realized, captured in the tears of his eyes as a young boy who he watched dream is flying high, flying high, hero soars, blood pumps hard, the mighty roar. You gotta fight, you gotta feel the pain. So much to lose, so much to gain. Feel the passion, pay the price. Don't step back and never think twice. You got a dream, you gotta follow it through. Take the challenge, it's up to you. Empty room, empty ground, crowd gone, no one around. A hero walks across his stage, thinks of what he did today. Life's gone by, so it seems, but here you are, living the dream.
Marie Wilson with Big Deal, and members of the Australian Boy Choir, please put your hands together again for Tony Woods, our composer, and Marie Wilson. And by the way, Marie Wilson's new CD, Real Life, will be out shortly in October. Make sure you get hold of that, because Marie Wilson, not only is she killing tonight with this premiere performance tonight of our magnificent new song, Living the Dream, but has also just signed with Atlantic Records in the USA, is on her way to become a major recording artist overseas. Well done, Marie. Great stuff. Geez, if we had known Tony Woods had that much talent, we would never have flicked him at Collingwood, I can tell you. Well done, Woodsy. Congratulations, mate. Tony Woods, everybody. Take a bow, Tone. Coming up in a few moments' time, it's the Footy Legends. We're going to count down our top 10 and give away a magnificent Ford car. We'll also be going through the matchups for the grand final. We've got our players' review, but now it's time to say goodnight to our first panel members. Firstly to Glenn Manton, a tremendous performance tonight. If you're wondering, he has got a nose ring in tonight. Good on you, Glenn. Glenn Manton. Thanks very much. Spider Everett from St Kilda.
Thanks, Eddie. Thank you, Sam.
And the great Gary Lyon.
Whoa.
We'll take a break. When we come back, more classic moments and almost footy legends on the Footy Show Grand Final Edition.
I've got one sent in from someone called Rachel, and a bit of a gag sent in here about Sam Newman. Sam Newman takes the plunge and gets married for a fourth time, and it happens that his bride on the day is also getting married for the fourth time, and so Sam was very surprised to find that on his wedding night that she was a virgin. Sam says, how can this be? You've already been married 3 times before. She said, well, this goes like this, Sam. He said, my first husband was a gynaecologist. He just wanted to look. She said, my second husband was a psychologist. He just wanted to talk about it. And my third husband was a stamp collector, and I really miss him.
Received an advance shipment of Viagra, and it's a phenomenon.
Geez, you've got enough there to last 2 or 3 nights, Sam.
It's a phenomenon that is actually sweeping the world. It has the effect it could burgeon out the front of your pants so that it can blow your fly into the next postcode. Now let's cut a long story short, Glenn. You got a bolt through the snag, haven't you, mate?
No wonder Glenn's interested in the variation. He's already got a bolt through his McNuggets.
Sorry, pardon me.
Sam, I found the soap.
Gee, congratulations on 18 years of fantastic service. If I had licked the same that you did 18 years, you wouldn't have been able to sack me in 1989, you mongrel prick.
Finally, Sam Newman.
You reckon that, Tim? Right, let that go. Hey, I'm going to take it away.
Who do you reckon it is, Jace, do you?
Well, give us a whole look at him. Look,
No.
there he is.
Sam, I could probably tell you because I shower with him a bit.
What, is that it?
Put your
that's
finger
it.
on it.
If you are videoing this, you'll be able to stop it on, and I'm going to do it once more. Which camera? All right, you're right.
Almost Footy Legends, what a great year we had in '98. Let's have a look at some of our favourites in Almost Footy Legends. First up, looking for the bloke, headbutts the ball onto his teammate who kicks the goal there. Very nice moment there. And there he is, circle number 29. You see him go up, headbutt to the teammate who picks up the ball. Handball's on and through for a snag. Nice play there.
Discretionary it is.
Next up here, we're looking for the old handball to the opposition. Here we go, he's looking around, and he pow, and there he goes. Straight to the opposition player and into the open goal, you idiot.
Fantastic football, Thompson. That has to go. Oh, that is amazing.
So we call that the 3-card trick, Ed. Here we go, M. Frost for a bit of a screamer. Coming up here from Werribee versus Bendigo. Nice grab. And absolutely poleaxed the bloke on the bottom there too. Oh, thank you very much. All right, now we're looking for the goal umpire. Bucken versus Omeo, we're looking for the Bucken goal umpire. Look at him. He's waving his arms and puts the bloke off for a point. There we go. There we see once again the Bucken goal umpire, waving the arms. And puts the full forward off and misses. And happy to signal a point. Very well done.
One out duel. McLaughlin better space.
Now we're looking for the old Cooter Feeties here, the one-handed pickup.
Fighting on as McLaughlin picks it up. He's still standing.
Thank you very much. And through for a goal. Beautiful play.
That is fantastic play. I have not seen a better goal than that all season. He picked that ball up with his hand to the top of the football, blind turn.
And the commentators love it. Now we're looking for the kid who takes the mark here, but doesn't want to go on with it. Cops it in the face. And Suki la la. Not very happy. Oh, that's it. I'm going home. All the very best. Okay, one-handed screamer here. Very nice indeed. It looks like he might be in a bit of trouble on landing too. Now we go up Banyan versus Arga. Look here, we see the ball. The boundary umpire has a bit of trouble getting the ball through the trees. That's right, we're going to have another shot. Now, Werribee v Preston. Got a bit of a screamer coming up here. Take flies, and thank you very much. And now Beverly Hills versus Q-Rover, the kids game here, and we see the wanker goal umpire coming up here. Ball bounces through, and the goal umpire, well, we're waiting for him to signal a goal. Still waiting. Just got to wait for him to finish dodging himself off. And there we go. A goal.
But now, Trev,
they were some of our favourites, Ed, but we have now managed to narrow it down to a top 10.
Yes, Trev, and our winner, when we get to the top 10, of course, the winning entry wins the magnificent Ford Falcon XR8. Here are our top 10 almost footy legends.
Okay, number 10 here, we got the check side goal from the young fella here. Goes one way, then the other, onto the left, and how's that for a snag? You superstar. Nice goal here. Claremont versus East Perth, looking for a bit of a screamer. Coming up next here. See the kick coming into the forward line. And oh, thank you very much. Good grab there. Now we go back up to Darwin here. Imaloo versus Irimaru in the Tiwi Island Grand Final. And we see the ball come down. Nice goal coming up here. Once again, one way, then the other, onto the left foot, check side. And there they go invading the pitch. That's the first goal of the game. And I think it's going to be a long afternoon there at the Tiwi Islands. As we see this goal again, nice place, beautiful free kick probably, but gets back up, and not a problem in the world. Now the next one here, we're looking for a goal just before the siren kicked out of mid-air. Here we go, Rupertsford versus Sunbury. Ball hits the pack, and we see, just as the siren is sounded, beautiful goal there. On the volley. Very nice indeed. Kempton v Ross here now. I'm looking for number 23. The worst shot at goal ever. He's picked it up, he goes for goal, and it's a 180-degree shot. That is, he breaks away from the pack looking like a superstar, and he's to his mates in the car park. All right, looking for another screamer here. Oh, very nice indeed. Once you had left to go, probably would have been a goal. Here we go, up above the pack. Why let it go through when you can take a hang of yourself? Very well done. Now a bit of World Cup influence here. And could you do that if you tried? Number 3 coming up from Dimboola versus Warwick Nabil, and looking for Jughead taking a screamer. Good passage of play this actually. Ball from the back line.
He's got it, he can run like it right with the and he's kicked it to Jughead. Jughead!
And Jughead, don't I like that?
That was up and he took it.
All right, West Coburg versus Keele, looking for a bit of a gutsy mark here, going back into the pack as our number 2 choice. Now that is good play. That is gutsy stuff and a great mark.
Really put his body on the line.
But Ed, our winner. And number 1, Old Kerry versus Richmond Centrals. We're looking for a big screamer here. Thank you very much. That's as good as any mark you'd see taken at any competition around the country. That is a fantastic mark. Very well done. And our winner, Ed, is the man who shot the vision that won the contest. There is a man called Justin Wrist.
Certainly is, Trev. It's a magnificent performance because we love all the people who send in the vision to us, given the fact that we can't get any off the opposition channel. So we love almost footy legends, so we can show a bit of footy on the show. And Justin Wrist wins the magnificent Falcon XR8, driven by Sam Newman. Give me two guesses who's driving the car, ladies and gentlemen. And to present the keys to the car, please welcome the President of Ford Australia, Mr. David Morgan, with us tonight. Good day, David. David, thanks very much. As everybody knows, Ford have been the major sponsor of the Footy Show right from the word go, and another magnificent car. This one Sam hasn't pranged yet, but give him time. And Justin, congratulations.
Thanks, mate. Justin, congratulations. I'm sure Sam has driven it very carefully and it's very carefully run in. No problem. I trust you'll enjoy driving it.
Thanks very much.
Justin, well, you took the vision. You going to share it with the bloke who actually took the mark?
Porno. Yeah, there's a bit of controversy. There's a couple of hands on it. A few people arguing for it, so we'll just have to work it out.
I'm not going to ask you why you call him porno either, but anyway. Before we move on, congratulations, Justin. But David, you've also got some big footy news because there's been some big news between Ford and the Geelong Footy Club this week.
Well, it certainly has, Eddie. Ford's been involved with the Geelong Football Club for about 73 years, as long as we've in fact been involved here in Australia. And ever since we've been allowed to sponsor them officially, we've been the sponsor of Geelong. And over the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've been negotiating with the Geelong Committee to extend our sponsorship. And I'm delighted to say that we've now extended our sponsorship for another 5 years. And we look forward to a tremendous relationship.
Thanks, David.
You're all on the board here. Would like to take over the club as well as Ford, would you?
I still reckon you get a better run if you come to Collingwood, David, but anyway. David, thanks very much. Collingwood supporter, good to see. David, thanks very much for all your support on the Footy Show. Justin, congratulations. Before we go to the break and more classic moments, I'd like to thank everybody here tonight, and particularly the people on the corporate tables tonight who have paid big money to come here tonight, with all the proceeds going to the Trevor Barker Foundation, to Ian Johnson, the Managing Director at Channel 9, and to Richard Cameron and Craig Kelly from their respective companies who have helped so much. And tonight, because of this fantastic turnout, the Trevor Barker Foundation, which raises money for kids with cancer, we're going to build a holiday house for families of kids with cancer, and I think we've raised just over $200,000 tonight. So well done, everybody. David, as usual, thanks for your support from Ford. We'll take a break. When we come back, we've got the players' review and the matchup for the 1998 AFL Grand Final on the Footy Show.
Unforgettable in every way, and forevermore, that's how you'll stay.
Is this our tribute to Mother's Day? Is this why we're wearing something old and wrinkled on our lapels?
You can see it's pretty hard. Won't go through the surface there. No, it won't get through the surface there at all. A little bit of, well, this is exactly where Billy Joel was doing his thing with Elton, right here.
Did you explain to the girls in the office that it was...
I didn't know anything about the sizes of things until much later.
You light that up, and that'll be it.
Oh, no, I didn't want to come on.
It's good to see that something's on fire at Carlton at the moment.
I've put it out, Sam. You're a bit late, I've put it out.
It's your breath I'm after now.
I'll tell you one thing, you sound a lot better than you normally do, Sam.
I've been down to liver's joint for tea. He actually wasn't there. His mother did this. Yeah. What happened to the coat? The coat, Scragger, his dog, got me at the front gate. I think I made a bet with you at the start of the year, didn't I? What was the bet?
That if we get into the finals, you've got to wear a yarmulke for a week.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam, I've got some bad news for you, mate. And if they win the flag...
Would you,
It's done in a very special way.
We'll be able to make a matching suitcase out of the off-cut anyhow.
That's a tough job because one slip and you get the sack. Yeah, exactly. 17th of July.
How do you defend
and
your
don't
guy?
treat it like a joke,
Get
dude.
out of the way.
All right, hang on a second. We have got the expert, the biggest man in Australian boxing, who is actually going to be the ringside announcer on the evening, Howard Lee over here. And this is a sample of what you'll get from Howard Lee on the night. Whose is better, anyway? What do you think? We'll put it this way, Tim, yours looks more realistic.
Hit me with your best shot. Ladies and gentlemen, from the site where legends are made, at Melbourne's Crown Casino, it's 12 rounds of boxing.
About a guy that comes home to find his wife in passionate embrace with another, and he flies into a total rage and he grabs the guy and he takes him out the back of the house and leads him into the tool shed, where he places the guy's member in a vice. He then picks up a hacksaw and the guy says, "Blimey, mate, you're not going to chop it off, are you?" He said, "No, you are. I'm about to set fire to the shed."
Back to the Footy Show Grand Final Edition 1998. Time to introduce a new panel as we look through some of the key matchups for the big game on Saturday between North Melbourne and Adelaide. And joining us, the biggest man in Geelong these days, I mean it. Please put your hands together and welcome bustling Billy Brownless.
Thank you, Ed.
From the Essendon Football Club, one of the stars of the Bombers and one of the men who'll be voting on the future of Kevin Sheedy. Let's hear it for the new golden boy himself, Matthew Lloyd. And ladies and gentlemen, the man who 5 times has stood on top of the dais on Grand Final Day and accepted a winning medallion in football. 5 times at night, 5 times a day. He is, of course, the one and only Dermot Brereton. And we have got our players' review coming up next. Sam is getting prepared for that. So Gary Lyon is filling in the chair. Before we go, Gary, I understand you might be having breakfast with Muhammad Ali on Saturday.
I'm not sure if I'll be having breakfast here, but there may be an opportunity to meet the great man, and if that comes off, that'd be fantastic.
It will be. Now, Lloydie, we're not going to let you off the hook before we look at this game. What's going on at Windy Hill? We know that the meeting is on next week.
Yeah, I did get a letter in the mail today. We won't deny that, but not really sure what it's about because hearing about player revolts, things like that, 80% are against Sheeds, 20 are for him, but I didn't get rung up or asked about Sheeds' future, and I'm right behind him and would be very disappointed if he did get asked to resign or step aside.
Apparently there's a lot of people at Essendon right behind Sheeds at the moment. All right, fellas, let's have a look at it. Derm, let's go through your key matchups for the 1998 Grand Final. And first of all, you reckon it'll be Wayne Carey versus Peter Caven?
Well, you would imagine that Peter Caven will get the job on Wayne Carey again. Carey will try and isolate him. The only time Carey will use his running ability against Caven will be heading back towards goal, as is the Pagan's paddock syndrome. Other than that, he'll probably play pretty stationary on him, Wayne Carey, and just try and push and shove. But Matty, you've actually played a fair bit on Peter Caven. What do you think his strengths are as a backman?
Yeah, along with Peter and Ben Hart, Peter would be one of the hardest running players I've ever played on, and I think North Melbourne will need somebody to help Carey out when Caven does run down the ground to try and take Carey away from the goal. So very hard running player.
Could they have a backup, Dermot, if Caven doesn't come up in the first quarter?
I suppose you've always got to have a backup with Wayne Carey, don't you? And I would imagine that they'll try and get Nigel Smart a bit loose to try and come over the top like Glenn Archer does in the North Melbourne backline as well, Billy. Look at another match-up here. I think Anthony Stevens will probably play pretty close to Mark Rasciuto in the middle of the ground. Obviously, Carey will fire if they can get strength through the centre, and this is going to be a battle of the two real hard nuts from both teams. Anthony Stevens in and under, and Rasciuto has just picked up possession after possession this year. Gets out wide, Rasciuto, but when it's needed to be mixed and willing, he is very, very good at putting it body on body, Gary.
Yeah, what about Rasciuto and Jarman have been playing out of the square on and off the ball? Would Stevens go with Rasciuto to a full forward, full back situation?
Probably will, and the thing is, Jarman plays full forward like a midfielder loitering there, and Rasciuto does play full forward pretty well when he's allowed space to lead up the ground.
An interesting one coming up is McLeod, the Norm Smith medalist from last year.
Yep.
Now, he's been played all over the place in recent times. How do you see that matchup going?
Well, look, McLeod last week was pretty good when he was allowed to go and meet the ball, had a nose for it himself, but when he's played in the back line, he's not a responsive type player who needs to be led to the ball by an opponent, and Jeff Farmer showed that to the footballing world. But when he's allowed to go meet it himself, he is fantastic. I just thought Martin Pike might be a chance on McLeod, but with Martin Pike, when Hurdy stitched him up in the first quarter and a half after the final, I thought perhaps Robbie Scott or maybe Martin Pike, Billy, one of the two.
Byron Pickett?
I don't think you'd be willing to run Byron Pickett through the midfield chasing him if he runs up there at the moment. I think they'd want to be settled with their matchup for the whole day, but he is a very exciting talent, and you'd almost lean with Pike, because if McLeod plays forward, he is fairly good overhead, and if he's in the forward line, you saw last week with Liberatore, he exposed the fact that McLeod can look bigger and look taller as a forward, and Pike will cover that aspect as well.
Dermot, last year's grand final winner in the last quarter, Darren Jarman. You won a grand final with him, of course, at Hawthorn. Who's going to put the brakes on D. Jarman?
Well, it'll be the same bloke as usual, I'd say. Blakey, he gets the job on Jarman regularly, and the thing is, as you've made mention, Billy, Rasciuto and Jarman swap at full forward to the midfield. Blakey will have no qualms about playing in front of the goals and do a reasonable job down there. Matty, you've seen him down there as well. Jarman, a mercurial talent, but Blakey will be comfortable in front of goals when he goes down there as well.
He doesn't often let you down, John Blakey. In the last couple of weeks, he's just been sensational, and I really think he's the man for Darren Jarman.
I reckon Jarman's just ready to explode, Dermot.
He's like done much for a while, has he?
He's volcano, and he's just ready to go, I reckon. But a couple of matchups you probably should talk about quickly. McKernan and Wren. Yep. It's going to be a huge one. And also the coaches, Blight and Pagan.
Well, people talk about Blighty being the super coach, and he is fantastic, but Pagan has not put a foot wrong in his coaching principles all year. I mean, he just seems to keep coming up with all the right moves at the right time. You mentioned Wren and McKernan. The bloke who didn't make it into Adelaide's side last year, McCartney, could actually become the most important man of the match, because Adelaide will be thinking if they are to have a big forward stand up and grab 4 or 5 goals, it has got to be Robrin, and they would be thinking in the form he's in at the moment, he can beat McCartney hands down. McCartney, that could be inspiration for him, and they would be saying if North Melbourne play Mick Martin on Robrin, he will quell him. But then Blight will say that's why they pick the extra big man. They want to push Pittman forward or Marsh to take Martin away from Robrin. So that's the way they're going to line up there. So it's already tactical, and they haven't even run out on the ground.
Now, Lloydie, they say defence is one of the most important things come grand finals. You played on both defensive halves. Which would you prefer least to line up against? Martin, Archer and McCartney against Smart, Caven and Hart?
I feel that North Melbourne in the air are the best side I would have played against. Very hard to take a contested mark against them, whereas Adelaide are the hardest running and make you work the hardest as a forward. So I think they've both got their strengths, and I suppose their weaknesses also, but it's pretty even.
Boys, just before we go, great matchups there. The one bloke who has resigned today from his post is the West Coast Eagles champion and captain, Johnny Worsfold. Billy, you played on him in 2 losing grand finals. Yeah. Just a great player. Yeah. Put your hands together for one of the greats, Johnny Worsfold.
Certainly, hey Sarah,
Sarah Giles in the crowd there. Certainly a tough nut, and a lot of blokes will sleep a lot better tonight and the next few weeks. Don't worry about that.
And also, Doom, Justin Charles announced that he's got a hip complaint. He's out of footy as well.
Yeah, sad news for Justin. I'm quite sure he would have loved to have come back to footy and really prove that he could do it the way his body normally would allow it. But a super bloke, and Justin, again, will sorely miss you. I think he's been a great character for the game.
Lordy, before you let you go, will Sheed survive?
Yeah, very disappointed, as I said, if he doesn't, and yeah, I'm pretty confident he will.
And Ed, before I go, the Norm Smith Medal is one of the most prestigious awards in football, and well, you've got to decide on that as well.
Yeah, imagine that. I've got all these magnificent blokes up here who know everything about the game, and I'm voting on the Norm Smith Medal. It's an indictment, isn't it?
How do you vote on it? Do you just pick one player, the four of you? Or
No, it's 3-2-1, and everyone gets in, and it's going to be an interesting one this year because for the first time ever, Nathan Buckley will win the Norm Smith Medal. But
Did you need another job, Ed?
No, it should be a fantastic day on Saturday. Let's thank the panel, because when we come back, we have got the Footy Review, and this year it's a tribute to the 80s. That's coming up after these magic moments.
The murky Arrow Delta was shining underneath the southern star, and I am following the river near the west gate through the cradle of the Wharfie Wall. I'm going to Darklands, better than the MCG. I'm going to Darklands.
That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June.
I'll make you out of pity you don't understand. You take me by the heart when you take me by the hand. I'll make you so pretty, can't you understand? It's guys like you making. Whoa, whoa, when Jerry smiles at me, I go to Rio. Sing the heave-ho, I'll free your back low. When Jerry smiles at me, the coach line, it ends up my life. And I feel free your last. What a blast!
Hey, hey, we're the monkey. People say we monkey around. We're too busy playing to put anybody down.
You read all the papers, but you still want to go. You ask Wayne, please, but he just says no. He says the G school and Waverley you don't need. But he just doesn't know how much it makes you bleed. You gotta fight for your right to stay Waverley. 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 Waverley.
Carmen, I've taken your number.
What for?
Striking. You are on report.
Yeah, we'll report this.
It's Marvin Gaye. It's Marvin Gaye. It's Marvin Gaye.
Welcome back to the Grand Final Footy Show. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together again for our tribute to the 80s. What about the fellas involved there? And the girls were magnificent. Let's go back into the rooms there, and I saw a bloke in a black and white jumper. I haven't seen him play for a while. In fact, he didn't play for 10 years, Johnny Burke. John, Burkey, what are you up to these days, mate?
How you going, Eddie?
working for Radio Sport 927, mate, selling advertising, so look after me, won't you?
Sterling advertising, mate. I tell you what, you better come down to Triple M or 3AW with Sam, and I tell you, if you use the tactics as you did on the umpire there, you get a sale every time, mate. But good to see you back in action, and you're doing a lot with junior footy these days, I believe.
Yeah, I've been helping out with the juniors, Eddie, and I coached Heidelberg in the seniors last year in the Diamond Valley, so yeah, enjoying myself, and obviously been in a good paddock.
Geez, John, you've been in a good paddock, mate. You're nice and big there.
Was that Dermot? Was that Dermot or Billy?
Billy.
Billy, I've been out of the game about 10 years, mate, so I'll see you in about 8 years.
I might be a bit bigger than that, eh?
Trev, what do you reckon?
Gee, you're talking Billy had to pull out of a recent game because of a gut-related hamstring.
Let's go back in the room and see who else is around. Who's down there? We've got, there's Warwick. Good to see Warwick. And Mark Yates is there. Yater, good to see you, mate. And look, all those disappointments for Geelong fans in recent grand finals. The one good thing is that you cleaned up Dermot in '89, mate.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd have to do it again, though. I thought I might have an elbow coming tonight. I thought he might have been a bit prepared this time, but he was a good sport.
You should have knocked him out.
Have a chat to Wazza, yeah?
Oh, well, why not? We may as well.
Have a chat to Wazza.
Well, Woz is there. Why not have a chat to Woz?
Hi, Eddie.
Woz, why didn't you ever try and knock out Dermot?
I couldn't catch him. He was too quick. I tried.
So, have you been offered a coaching role yet? We saw you on the footy show last time. Did the offers roll in?
Actually, I might coach St Kilda, and I'll do it for 300,000. Worth every cent.
And you're back in town.
Wizard's back.
You're back in town. The Wizard's back in town?
Oh, shit, yes. I'm back in town. And loving it.
Just behind the Wiz, good to see a man who was an absolute sensation at Carlton, Peter Bazzasto. Couldn't he turn on in the final? G'day, Buzz.
G'day, Ed. How are you?
Mate, can you tell us, what was your mindset going into a grand final? And unfortunately, we saw you do it in '81 and '82.
Oh, terrific, Ed. It's just what we all played for, of course, in the VFL at that stage. And it was terrific to play for a team like Carlton in those days. And we had a pretty good side. And champion teams win grand finals, Ed. That's what it's all about.
Pete, Peter Cameron there would like to talk to you, but we don't speak to white maggots on the footy show. Good to see Big Wow Jones there, but also Jimmy Stein's behind. Jim, there's been some talk about your future, mate. Are you going to go on next year?
I'm just having a good time at the moment, boys.
And off to represent, who are you representing, Ireland or Australia?
Oh, I'm with Australia this time. Looking forward to it.
Good on you, mate. And I saw fabulous Phil Carmen around the back there somewhere too. Where's Fabulous?
I'm trying to hide.
Fabulous, you had a second go there tonight. You could have headbutted Roland Roccacelli.
Well, actually, I was surprised because the act was for me to really hit him, but Roland got me.
Yeah, well, anyway, we won't go into that one. Fellas, thanks very much for being here. Good to see Gary Buckenara amongst the boys. Rodney Grinder, he'll probably squirrel grip somebody before the night's out. Billy Duckworth, of course, there. Swan Mackay and Super Boot Bernie Quinlan. Put your hands together for all the guys from the 80s there. Fantastic stuff. And what chance there'll be any beer left after the show with those blokes in there for the next couple of minutes? We've got plenty to go through in the next couple of moments in the footy show. One of our great highlights this year was the introduction of our cameos segment. Here's the best of the cameos 1998.
Now, keep your eye on this Assumption College player. Now, this is a gem. The sweet, innocent 17-year-old boy. Watch this. We'll circle him here. There he goes.
What are they doing?
There he is. Number 12. Keep your eye on him. Whack. How did you reckon that is, Ed?
Well,
that's one of our esteemed panel members.
There he is, Shane Crawford.
I'm too sexy for your party. Too sexy for your party.
Next we have Mark Harvey trying to decide from a bevy of beauty.
True.
And for those of you interested, he went for Dexter.
Now, next we have the great man Wayne Carey, and if you listen carefully, you'll be able to tell that this is just from a few years ago.
Okay, if I saw your photo on the front page of a newspaper, what would the headline be? That's to contestant number 2.
Probably found guilty on all charges.
Here's example number 672 of the mediocre white shark, Eddie Maguire. Oh, this is you, Ed. This is the white shark. Have a look at this. Now, watch this closely. I want to give you the tip. Watch this. Now, watch the ball and watch. Now, just watch. It's a shocker, obviously. It's a shocker. There it is. And
get to shut the bar if your club goes further than the ball.
Actually, they hadn't mown the fairways. He had to throw a provisional not long after. Keep your eye on Buddha Hocking and the hot dog. Have a look at this.
And don't forget that each week we're going to visit a different school with a star AFL.
You wonder why we bag him in. You wonder why we bag him.
Well, they were some of the best we had this year, but our very best cameo, the one that wins the prize, goes to Tim Haynes of Mount Eliza in Victoria, and this was the winning cameo.
Apply directly to the plant's leaves and source that minerals. Be sure to spray under every leaf. It also kills aphids and lace
Yes, indeed, a very young St Kilda captain, Nathan Burke there. The winner, Tim Haynes of Mount Eliza, Victoria, and he wins this magnificent prize. Tim Haynes, there he is, there's his name, Mount Eliza in Victoria, and he wins this, the Panasonic Home Entertainment System. It includes a 68cm stereo TV hi-fi VCR, Pro Logic hi-fi system, DVD player, and a cabinet worth $5,000. Thanks to Panasonic Home Entertainment. A magnificent prize there. One other award that we have to give away tonight, of course, all year we had the running of the AFL Trivia competition. Our grand prize winner is Julia Magulio of Keysborough in Victoria. She wins 2 business class return tickets thanks to Anson International, destination of her choice. There you go. I tell you what, it's been a huge segment, that one, the cameos this year, Sam. I thought you were magnificent doing the Channel 7 thing.
Yes, Channel 7 is it little wonder we bag him in if they put crap out like that.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to have a look at some of the big news that made the Footy Show this year, and then our finale. That's next on the Footy Show.
To the first annual Footy Show Awards. The winner for the best on-field performance in a girdle goes to Jurassic Park, the Legends Game. What on earth is that, Eddie?
10 tons of prehistoric flesh. A Brownlosaurus. He stopped chasing us.
Thank God for Dermy-Rex. Best direction in lack of direction goes to A Titanic Disaster, the live and kicking story. Don't leave me, Jason. We've been through so much.
I love you, mate.
Oh, I love you, mate. For God's sake, don't retire on me now. Winner for largest crop circle in the middle of nowhere, Waverley Park.
Come on down South Park and meet some friends, man.
I hate Waverley Park. It's in the middle of nowhere and it stinks. Yeah, it sucks butt. Let's blow it up. Yeah! Bombs away. It's still standing. Oh my God! They've injured Hardy.
And the gold groin strap goes to Joe Goodnick for that riches to more riches story, Cinderella.
At this rate, I'll never get to the grand final. Who are you?
I'm your fairy godmother, stupid. Now button up while I deck you out in some happening duds.
I'm a babe. Oh, Ving, dancing with you is like dancing on air. That's because you're standing on my feet. Oh, Ving! Hey, you promised me the grand final.
How's a fairy supposed to work with all those no smoking signs everywhere?
And great to see Andrew Fife, who does the cartoons for us, and on Hey Hey It's Saturday. Good on you, Fifey, on another fantastic year. Andrew Fife, everybody there. Well, it has been a big year in football, there's no doubt about it. We come on every week and start the show off the same way because every week of the footy year, another big story breaks. Here's how we look back on the big stories in 1998.
Stars, baby, stars. Get where they are.
And also, we reveal exclusively and speak to the footballer who's about to sign a contract to make him the highest paid player in the game.
Yeah, there's a few I's to dot and a few T's to cross, but apart from that, I'll definitely be with the Bulldogs for the next few years.
They had to cut their ties, cut their losses and fly. The stars, baby, the stars.
And it's Carlton versus Brisbane this week at Optus Oval. Carlton fans and Carlton players watching the footy show, if you got a bit in the heart like Glenn Banton did when when the crowd waved the wooden spoon, have a listen to what the Brisbane Lions captain Michael Voss said tonight in Brisbane on National 9 News.
When Carlton sacked Robert Walls in 1989, that came after a loss to Brisbane. Maybe we can repeat the dose for David Parkin. Michael Voss, National 9 News.
Glenn?
That's great, terrific. Love hearing stuff like that because as he will well and truly find out on the weekend, revenge is a dish best served cold, and we'll be serving up a dish on the weekend.
Glenn Manton. There you go.
The stars, baby, smiling at us, wearing dark glasses and sucking out blood. The stars, baby, up on the hill, listen to the cry of the little sheep.
The Carlton lads love him, the football world in general loves him, and it gives us absolutely great pleasure to welcome Jeff Motley and Peter Motley to the Footy Show.
And what's been the biggest obstacle to overcome? Learning how to speak again.
You're doing it beautifully.
I was so scared when I regained consciousness and knew what I wanted to say, but I could not speak, and of course it was devastating, and I was totally paralysed on my right-hand side.
Certainly that is the deal on the table, but I believe it's a lot closer than that, and that it's just about a done deal for the Bombers to play their home games at the Docklands, 7 of them, and 4 at the MCG. A couple of years ago, he found out that he was HIV positive, and at that stage disqualified himself from his team and competition. Why now, a couple of years down the track, do you want to play football?
When I first found out, I was very uneducated on the matter. I thought it was probably safer that I didn't play because I never ever would want to put anyone else at risk. So I decided I shouldn't play. Since speaking to my doctor in the last 2 years, I've become educated on the matter, and he assures me that the risks are so minimal to be non-existent.
Some of the highlights, some of the great moments on the Footy Show this year. We'll take a break. When we come back, it's the final segment, our grand finale tonight with Adam Thompson, and our final tips for season 1998. Last break coming up on the Footy Show right after this. Welcome back for the final time in 1998. Unless there's a draw, then we'll be back next week. To the Footy Show. It's going to be a wonderful grand final. North Melbourne up against the reigning champions, the Adelaide Crows. Let's get the final tips of the night. Over by the bar, North Melbourne's favourite son, Trevor Marmalade.
Yes, well, look, I just hope the best team on the day gives Adelaide an absolute thrashing.
Former Carlton champion Swan Mackay, David Mackay, played in 4 winning premiership sides with the Blues. Who do you reckon, Swan?
I think North should win, Eddie. I've got to say that standing beside Trevor here, so... No, North should win.
Billy Brownless.
Yes, the top attacking side is playing the top defensive side in this year's grand final, and it's going to be an absolute ball terror, Ed, and I think North Melbourne will stone the Crows.
Gary Lyon.
Oh, yeah, I agree with Phil. He's got plenty of notes there. I think they might get up by less than 2 goals, Ed.
Matty Lloyd.
Adelaide continue to amaze me, but North will win the game.
Spider Everett.
I explained before why the Crows will win. I think the Crows will win comfortably.
Glenn Manning.
The only tip I've got is I can't get these bloody pants off, so that's the only tip I've got for you.
Derm, who's going to win?
I think North Melbourne by about 6 goals, but danger lurks on every corner with Adelaide.
David Cloke, who played with 2 premiership sides with the Richmond Footy Club. Clokey.
I think North Melbourne will get up by a couple of goals.
All right, Peter Cameron, who umpired in 3 grand finals. And before we go, Pete, good luck to the 3 umpires over the weekends as well.
Yeah.
The umpires, Goldspink, Kennedy, and also Coates. Good luck to the fellas here tonight. Oh, give them a rap. Camo, who's going to win?
Oh, look, I'll go with Derm. Gotcha, Derm. North easy.
Well, Jones, who played with the premiership side with Carlton.
It'll be a close game. I think North Melbourne will do the job.
All right, North Melbourne. And Sam Newman, who do you think's going to win?
Now, just before I give him a tip, Ed, there's speculation that you're going to forgo hosting the footy show to go and be the president of Collingwood. I want a straight answer. We're not going to do the footy show unless you host it. Are you going to be the president of Collingwood, or are you going to do the show? Straight answer.
Well, I don't know about the presidency. I've got to go. There's still a bit of water to go
next year.
I'll be here next year,
Very
though.
much. Right.
Now, Sam.
My son Jordan is over in Boston, in America, as an exchange student. He's coming back for this game because he's an avid Crows supporter. I am the ambassador. This is who will win. They will win the grand final. Our friend Malcolm Blight.
Yes.
He's a friend of ours now.
Yep.
They'll win the grand final. Ed.
Well, these magnificent wig posters are $2 a hit. It goes to Royal Children's Hospital. Make sure you buy the winning one, and I reckon the winning wig poster this year will be that one. Good luck to both sides. May the best team win. Before we go tonight, special thanks to the Footy Show team of Steve Perkin, Cos Cardone, Ralphie Horowitz, Drew Whitehead, Aaron Smith, Amanda Brockhurst, Jane Fraser, David De Gea, Tony Woods, and of course the boss himself, Ian Johnson. Thank you to John Farnham and Marie Wilson, everybody. Andrew Fife, the great Trevor Marmalade, Sam Newman and all the boys. And tonight, to take us out with the hit song from his new solo album, the former lead man of the Chocolate Starfish. Ladies and gentlemen, the new song is Sign of Victory. Please welcome Mr. Adam Thompson.
I couldn't think of a better time for everybody to be on their feet. Everybody standing. Ghost town, not another little town. Living in the lost and found, got nothing but the pain. More war, when balanced on a seesaw, thought I could never break the law, but oh how times have changed. Right, no wrong. I've searched for so long for sign of victory. We're strong, we don't lose. We're marching on. Sign of victory. We're strong, we don't lose when all is gone. victory is strong. We don't lose, we're marching on. Sign of victory is strong. We don't lose when all is gone. Sign of victory is strong. We don't lose, we're marching on. Sign of victory is strong. We don't lose when all is gone.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Please explain.